Yep. Oh man. Um. Mm. Woo. Huh? You good? All right. It's a lot of milk there. It's a lot of milk there, Nino. Okay. Oh man. Uh, we here, y'all.
Yo,
We are here. Didn't even have to wait until the game ended. Shelton already can throw the camera away. Oh man. Yeah. So the 6 games. This was the last 2 of the 6-game opening uh playoffs, wild card, and some really interesting games and some potentially developing storylines that that came out of that. But yeah, Shelton, I didn't get a chance to watch your halftime video. What did you say, bro?
I said that we were fortunate to be in position to have a chance at winning the game. That's basically what it boiled down to.
I agree.
It's tough to win a game when you give up points on the first 4 possessions of a football game in any level of sport. But the fact that they had an opportunity going into the second half, they even had an opportunity to score at the end of the first half. It just never came to fruition. Did not look good. It didn't on either side of the ball. It just never looked right. Sirianni should be worried. I don't think he's gonna have a job long.
Yeah, I read an article on ESPN this morning about the downfall that they've undergone. They were just kind of documenting everything that happened with the locker room, the coordinators, the play calling, the players, etc. It wasn't a good look. Um, so that was on ESPN. But yeah, I thought the Bucs really were going to find a way to blow this game.
I did too.
It was right there for the taking, and the fact that the Eagles couldn't find a way to take it, especially after they scored that touchdown, said a lot based on what I was saying. But this game it was right there. It was in the balance
Mm-hmm.
the whole night until that disastrous series by Gainwell and Hurts.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much that was the game right there. But yeah, I mean Baker threw 2 interceptions. The defense didn't get.
Yeah, two.
Uh, yeah.
It Cunningham in the hands both times. I was like,
Yep.
mm-hmm.
Mike Evans dropped 2 passes. One was for a touchdown he could have
Yep.
had. And there was a seam route that or seam slant that Baker threw to Cade Otton that was dropped, and he had nothing but wide open grass ahead of him.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like I think the announcer said they had 5 drops in the first half, and that
They
game was
did.
right there.
They did. And on most of those plays, they were wide open. I just can't believe watching the first quarter of that game. I was watching. I'm like, man, I don't see how you. I was like, this is some of the worst defense I've ever seen in the history of football. In my opinion, I just hadn't seen a defense go from being as good as they were to as bad as they were in 1 year's time. And the only thing that really changed was the coordinator. You had a couple pieces, but it wasn't enough for it to look that bad. It looked bad. It just looked really, really bad. And it looked like nobody was into it. Nobody was in sync. Nobody was fired up. It just looked like, let's go through the motions. Let's just, get whatever we're going to do. Let's just get out here and just like whatever. And
I
it
think
really,
they were fired up until the safety.
yeah.
Fletcher Cox, Brendan Graham, like
Well,
they were hyped.
that's what I was going to say. They not at first. They
Okay.
got hype after that. After that fifth series is when they made a play, and they finally, like I said, the first four series they were sleepwalking. That fifth series they made a play, and you saw them get a little bit more energized. But what I needed for it to happen, and I was looking, I said, man, if they can't create, and the difference, the biggest difference in this year and last year is a couple things. One, the pressure from the defensive line. You got pressure from your front four. You had four or five people with 10 plus sacks. 71 sacks in a season is incredible. That's all gone. Nobody's getting pressure on the quarterback at all. You created turnovers. You led the turnover battle. There was no turnovers created whatsoever down the stretch. None of those games, you look back, they wasn't getting the ball back. They were not putting the ball back in the hands of the offense. And when the offense did have the ball, they didn't do much with it.
Mm-mm.
So it's just it's crazy how both sides of the ball just completely turned around. I don't get it. I just don't get it.
Yeah, that first touchdown they scored when I think on that one the defenders ran into each other.
Mm-hmm.
So they picked themselves.
Yeah.
But I mean, bro, like it was like 3 or 4 white and green shirts there. Somebody could have tackled that guy. He just ran by. This Moore guy is just a regular guy. He
Yeah.
just nobody could tackle him. It shit didn't make any damn sense.
None. None.
So
None. None. And
I
it was
was
like it's like we ain't playing in cold weather, so it ain't no reason for you not to tackle. It ain't no reason for you not to be out there making effort. Effort, you can't coach effort. That's just on you. Like you gotta have some pride about yourself and go out there and hit somebody in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? And you gotta understand, like you said it all week, you playing Tampa Bay. Now, Tampa, true indeed, they got some players, but you gotta have pride in yourself, like y'all ain't gonna get off on me. And that's how you gotta feel about it. And that's how you gotta show up. And they just didn't show up like that. They didn't. They
yeah,
didn't show
no,
up at
not
all.
at all. I do want to highlight because I'm sure we're not done with the Eagles.
No.
We have a lot. This is my professional take, y'all. We're gonna have a lot more to discuss tomorrow about the
Yeah,
Eagles.
we'll talk about
I
it.
definitely want to give Baker props, man. I just saw they put on the screen that he's the first quarterback in playoff history to have over 300 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. Um, Brady didn't even do that, and for Baker to come in here to find a way to scrap and claw to a 9-8 win and to take out the Super Bowl runner-ups, at home. I mean, that says a lot. I mean, and even when they were up like 16, they stayed aggressive. I was surprised. They stayed aggressive and threw the ball and he kind of started to dial in a little bit. So, but I just knew that Todd Bowles, wait, number one, fifth number one overall pick to win playoff game for 2 different teams. Okay. I just knew that Todd Bowles was going to find a way to mess it up.
Yeah.
God, he was just awful. But
Yeah.
the crazy thing about this shelter is when I was watching that, I forgot Tom Bowles won the Super Bowl.
Damn. I did too.
He was the coach with Brady, right?
What was it him that won the Super Bowl?
I thought they said that on the I thought he was the coach. He wasn't the coach.
I
Who
don't
was it? No. It wasn't him. It wasn't
Aaron
him. It wasn't him. It was some other guy.
Arians.
Yep, Bruce Arians. Yep, my bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, then I don't know what they were saying because they said something about a Super Bowl. But anyway, never mind. Because I was like, yeah, I was confused. But anyway, happy for Bowles to get this playoff win. But it wasn't like he was good, bro. Oh,
Mm.
he was a defensive coordinator, so he was there. That's
Yeah,
what
he was there.
he wasn't a head coach. Cool, appreciate it, y'all.
But yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Big win for Tampa at home. You caught the right team at the right time because the Eagles Eagles ready to give it away. But you're right though, Ken. To be honest, Tampa did everything they could to get this game away. The Eagles
mhm.
didn't take it. They had every opportunity to take this game, and they just never stepped up and took it.
Nah, they didn't, and part of that was the Bucs defense. They blitzed 61% of the time. Hurts is not good under pressure.
No,
So when I read that, I knew that they were going to be in trouble. And then you don't have AJ Brown, who basically quit on the team. So, he was going to have to throw a lot of quick passes. So at that point, you just got to come up and do what the Eagles weren't able to do, and that's tackle. And they did. So those quick screens weren't effective. They didn't run the ball, at all to try to shorten the game as much as possible.
Right.
They just kept trying to pass the ball. And I think those are the things that's going to get Sirianni in trouble. I
Yeah.
think Sirianni is out of there.
I think he's out there too. I really do. Like I said, I'm sure he's lost this team, and you saw it down the stretch. Those close wins. There was never one game where they were just in complete control. And to me, coach, man, you gotta figure that out. At some point, you gotta rally the troops, get everybody going in a certain direction, and that's on you. That's on you. You got the talent. You made it to the Super Bowl, so it's your job to get that team ready to go. And at some point, at one game, I don't care what game it was, one of those games they should have been ready, and not none of those games that they dominate. They could have lost every game that they won. They could have won every game that they lost. It's just a matter of him and Sirianni and what he's going to do in those coordinators. Now, I didn't like the coordinators in the beginning. I told y'all that I couldn't stand these. I still don't. I watch it, and they highlighted it tonight. I finally saw them do it on here. It was showing the route trees again, and I talk about route trees. I know I talk about that a lot, but you got to have a hot read. There's no hot reads anywhere there's nowhere to go. It's easy to blitz when there's not a hot read to be found. And one thing about some of the great quarterbacks, one, it's still on Jalen decision making. I'm not excluding him from that, but you got to give him an option. You got to give him somebody short, something over the. Nothing was going on. Nobody going over the middle. The middle of the field just completely wide open, and they running down the sides. Even that last play on 4th and 5.
Yep.
What in the world? Like, what in the world are you running? Where's the crossing routes? Where's the option? Where's any? Give me something. It's just crazy to see.
Yeah. Shout out
I'm still
to
a Jalen Hurts fan. Don't ever forget that.
shout out to Andre.
Oh yeah, let me tell him this, kid. Q's don't lose. Jalen Hurts made over $200 million and didn't get any woman he wanted. He's still winning. Don't forget that. And he'll be back.
Andre said he called him earlier this season, the Philadelphia Vikings, and it turns out it played out as he said it would.
Absolutely. Ray, you're right. You're right.
Yep. So,
I don't think long term is gonna look like that. I honestly feel like they're gonna make a comeback. I do. That's not fandom talking. That's me saying it from the heart. I think that this team will look a lot better next year. Look different next year. I guarantee you that. Those coordinators won't be back for sure. Sirianni, I don't think he's going to be back either, but I know the coordinators won't be back. And I guarantee you they'll have a better game plan going forward. They didn't fall off that bad. They did.
I don't know, Shelton.
They fell off.
Oh, bro. This looks like what this Eagles team will be moving forward. I don't know how to fix this, especially if it's coaching. If we're putting it on coaching, who they gonna go find? What's the OC? What's the DC? If Sirianni's gone, you got to find somebody that can replace him. AJ Brown, is he coming back? So I don't know.
Yeah, Bays ain't coming back. Now, I'm gonna be scared to death. But you need. I don't know for sure because I'm not in that locker room and I don't have an ear in there right now. But I guarantee you, I think it's because of the coaching. I think that they just lost confidence and faith in their coaching, in the abilities of the coaches to put them in the positions to win. Because as a player, you can only do so much. And you can go rogue if you want to, but you can't keep a job like that. So you got to run the plays that are called. And I just don't see where they put them in position to be successful. The running game, you had Swift, who was he third in the league in rushing or second or something like that, something crazy, and they just went away from it. Like it just didn't make sense what they were trying to do.
Yeah. What was I about to say? Shit, I forgot. Oh, damn. Sirianni. Yeah, it was about Sirianni. That's I don't like Sirianni, bro, and I hope he is fired. And I think Sirianni, where my dislike for Sirianni came in that Chiefs game, and I saw BL pointed this out how he was barking and talking shit after that game, and I'm like, oh, this guy. I actually think he's good. You know, like, what are we doing here? Like the record reflects that, but I'm like, bro, you barely scraped through these games, and you should have lost that game if MVS could catch. And you sitting here talking and throwing your hands up and doing all that.
Mm,
I think we can look at that game, and that was almost damn near the downfall of the Eagles. From that point on, they just
yeah,
fell apart after that. And I'm
mhm,
like, bro, you're talking. He talks a lot of shit.
yeah,
And that was the thing that kind of turned me off against him. So I was like, yo, I don't know if I like this guy. He's very arrogant for no. I mean, he had a reason. He went to the Super Bowl. Okay, so I get it, but you didn't win that motherfucker.
right, right. You
You know,
you still got things to prove.
yeah, yeah. And I think you had a lead in that one, and you
Yeah.
blew.
Mhm.
So what? So yeah, nah, I don't know, but we're not gonna be on here long. Let's go into a rather uneventful game for the most part. The Bills and the Steelers. I still believe conspiracy is alive and well. They moved that game to give Josh Allen a better field so he can play, bro. Nobody. I don't have any evidence. Don't ask me for proof.
Right.
Don't like see time me right now. I don't got proof. I don't got evidence. This conspiracy for a reason.
Right.
When I saw how clean that field was, man, I'm like, come on, man. Steelers are you and the Bills are used to playing in snow and torrid temperatures and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, come on, y'all. But anyway, um, Steelers clawed back in it, but they put themselves in a big, big, big hole
Yeah.
with those two turnovers, one by Pickens and then another by Rudolph, and then one of those turnovers came in the red zone.
Hmm.
Cannot do that.
You can.
And especially when you have a limited quarterback like Rudolph and you have a somewhat limited offense like the Steelers. You can't
Hmm.
put yourself in the hole like that.
Yeah.
And that was pretty much the game. The admirable job getting it within 7, but nah, it was too much, especially when you don't have that many defenders when you lost a lot of guys. And then Minka Fitzpatrick, you want to talk about missed tackles.
Yeah.
The hell was that? Oh
Man,
yeah.
I know. I guess I'm gonna credit that to Rust and the fact that he ain't played in how long he been out? Has he been out a month? Something like that. That's the
Yeah.
only thing I can think about that being. But still, there's no excuse. You on the field, you're an NFL player, make plays. That's what you're known for. Shout
Hmm.
out to Mike Tomlin though, man, because once again, nobody expected him to be here, and the fact that he even got that team in the playoffs and patched together as they was. I don't be wanting to hear no slander towards him like Nick tried to do.
Yeah.
I just in their first quarter when they were down 14-0, I said they're gonna lose this game, but for them to still show fight, which is better than some of these other teams because some of them ain't got the fight in them. For Pittsburgh to still be fighting and playing for pride in their coach, I give them a lot of credit for that.
Yeah, I mean, they didn't have they didn't have a bunch of key pieces, and they fought. They showed a lot of pride.
Mm-hmm.
They could have quit because when
Right.
it was 20, I think it was 2021. Oh, I was like you. I was like, oh, this game is a wrap. Like this
Mm-hmm.
might get ugly. And the only thing that really honestly saved it was a messed up punt. You
Yeah.
know, because it could have gotten pretty ugly. So,
Mm-hmm.
let me turn the TV off. They showing Josh Allen, bro. I'm starting to, I don't know, but but yeah, I mean, I did pick the Steelers to win. I thought they were going to play in the cold, and they did not. But it was going to be an uphill battle. I think one of the things I don't know if we're going to get into it tomorrow that I had to ask myself, given how well he fought and how in sort of command he looked with the offense, if
Mm-hmm.
Rudolph was going to be the guy next year.
Yeah, I don't see how he can be. I think that he played decent down the stretch. I just don't see him being the long term answer and solution. I think they'll give Pickett another shot just because of the fact that you invested such a high pick on him. He'll get another shot before you give it back to Rudolph. Rudolph is better served as the backup to him, a stopgap, so to speak. And if things get off the rails, then you can go to Rudolph. But He was third string quarterback for a reason, and it wasn't just because he called it a nigga.
Mm. You know, I'm a picky guy, man.
Yeah,
In the fourth quarters when the game is on the line. Every other quarter, I'm not.
right.
Uh,
That's what they need to do. Play Rudolph first through third and bring Pickett in fourth.
yeah, I guess so, but I haven't seen. You know, he's young. Rudolph has been around for a minute. He's had plenty of time to study game film. So, but I don't know. It just looked like the players on offense had a little bit more, felt a little bit more comfortable with him out there.
Mm-hmm.
They looked like the coordinators felt a little bit more comfortable being able to call some of the plays for him when him out there. So if that's the case, I think Pickett has to definitely go in and learn a lot to be able to run the offense effectively the way he did. Because one thing Rudolph did was he gave Pickens a chance
Yes.
a lot, and
And
Pickens
that,
loved that shit. You know how he is.
yep. Yeah.
So, but I just don't know if honestly to keep it all the way real, I don't know if either one of them's the answer for the Steelers.
Mm,
But and I think the person that knows that is Mike Tomlin.
right.
And I think that's why when he was asked that question, he walked his ass off the goddamn podium. You know, I think that, you know, I've been saying it's time for him to sit down, not go to another team. It's just I think it's getting to a point now where he's ruining his legacy. I think it's getting to a point where people are looking for things to criticize him for.
Right.
People, it's an observation. I may need to talk about this on IG. People just hate stability, bro. It's
Mm,
just somebody's in a place for a long time and they just start finding reasons to get rid of them.
yeah.
And for whatever reason, psychologically, sociology, I don't know what that is, but you know, I've just noticed that. But I think after 17 years, it's time.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it. You're
Mm,
not winning with this team anytime soon. You're only you're only coaching just to not have a losing season because you're
right.
not really going to have a roster good enough to win any meaningful games in the playoffs.
Correct.
So then what? You get in
Mm,
the playoffs, and then people talk about. We talked about it on the show. Then people talk about, oh, he bounced out of the first round again. Oh, then it's the second round. It's just like for what, bro?
mm-hmm.
It's a wrap. It's
So,
a wrap.
so you think this is it? You think he's gonna step down?
I do. I do. I get the feeling. I think a couple of years before he came back, he was contemplating it. I don't know the reasons why he came back. That's between him and his family. I don't think he ever revealed that, and we never got any inside knowledge or report from it. Um, but no, I think so, man. I think he's done. I
Mm-hmm.
think he's tired. I don't think he, and I think even when Big Ben retired, I was wondering if he wanted to start over again and rebuild.
Right.
So, and I don't think so. I do know the Steelers want to bring him back and offer him an extension.
Right.
So I think it's his call to make.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know that's been reported out there. So I'm not making it up. So I don't know if whoever I read, a Pro Football Focus, I think they had a Pro Football whatever had
Mm-hmm.
that report. So if they may be making it up, but that's where I read it from. So so yeah, I mean as usual, he's not going anywhere unless he wants to, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that's where he's at.
Right.
But you know, I mean, admirable comeback. I think the Bills, you know, took advantage of mistakes. I
Right.
didn't see world beaters out there,
Mm-hmm.
but against Kansas City at home, rematch,
Mm.
they were ready to crown Allen, bro.
Yeah. I, I'm kind of with you though on what you said. I'm still waiting on Baker. I'm not Baker. Well, Baker too. While you mentioning it, to make those key mistakes, him and Josh Allen to make those key mistakes. And this next round, neither one can afford to. You can't afford to make a mistake against Patrick Mahomes if you're Josh Allen. He played well enough today to not give the game away like he does at times, but that won't work if he does it in Kansas City. And the same thing with Baker against the Lions. If y'all go out there doing that stupid ball, and I saw where you put that idiotic call where they went for it was like a 3rd and 2 or something like that, and they call that pass play and he got drilled.
Who
Baker.
oh yeah.
So stuff like that in the next round is going to hurt both these teams. So we'll see what happens going forward. But shout out to both of them for getting it done. That's what this is all about: survive in advance.
Yep.
You ain't got to win pretty. You just got to win and get to the next round. The home team handled their business today. They won at home. Now, one is going on the road.
Mm-hmm.
We'll see what happens from here. I'm excited for next week to see these games.
Yeah, Detroit. I don't see if I got the matchups. Detroit and Tampa. That should be interesting because both quarterbacks can easily give this game to the other team.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Do I have the matchups? We know about the Bills and the Chiefs. So that's going to be an interesting one. Division round. Here we go. And Houston, Baltimore. That's going to be an interesting one. So we're going to preview all of these tomorrow, guys. Green Bay, San Francisco, and then Green Bay, San Francisco. So the NFC is the only ones I have. Woo, boy, these matchups right here, man. It's crazy. Last thing I'll say before we get out of here. Well, Tampa's been there before, but Detroit going to the NFC Championship game, bro.
Yeah,
that's going to be insane.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar got a chance to go, or Stroud got a chance to go.
Wow.
Love got a chance to go, bro. This is
crazy.
Who would have thought, man?
None of them out.
Nah,
ain't nobody you can count out right now.
Yep, nah, you can't. So I didn't imagine going into this weekend that the two teams we talked about the most, the Cowboys and Eagles, would be gone home. Who would have thunk it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
man.
What a damn weekend of football.
Yeah, if you're a football peers, then you got some exciting times ahead. Because once again, there's even though San Francisco and the Ravens are favored, it ain't no guarantees. Ain't no guarantees in this thing no more. So everybody still got a shot that's still in it.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. Golf has been played in the Super Bowl before, so it's not unfamiliar territory for him. So yeah, he's used to it. So at least the pressure of the games as they advance to the next round. So even though it was a lot of Todd Gurley, but nevertheless, he's done it. So so yeah, we will definitely get Spike's take. We will be on later tomorrow, right around 9:30. We're gonna have a guest on. So we'll be waiting for them to show up, FIFO and the guest. But 9:30 tomorrow. Spike will be there. Of course, Jalen will be behind the mic, and we'll have FIFO there. He was sending something on IG to us. And I can tell y'all right now, we're coming in hot.
And for those of you wondering, I ain't hear from Spike all day yesterday. I just heard from him today.
Yep. We're coming in hot. So yeah. All the crazy takes that will be tomorrow. Trust
yes.
and believe.
Tune in.
Spike already been going at it in the chat. Q said he wanted to show up. I don't know if we'll be able to make that happen with a guest now. So I may do another show with him because I know he's overseas. He's on a different time zone. So I may just do a show with him just to kind of get his take on it. So because I know you guys want to hear from him as well, being the real Eagles fan on the show. So with that being said, 9:30 p.m. We will see you guys tomorrow. That's gonna do it for us, man. We out. I hope you guys enjoy these. We got 2 more weekends.
Yes.
So yeah. I hope you guys enjoy these. We'll definitely keep them up, man. So yeah, we'll call it a night. We are out. Peace.